How long you been singing?
3 years.
See, you went to grab it right away. Gonna snatch it right out of my hand there. Was I right? Are you 9 or 10? I've forgotten.
9.
You know, it's very difficult. What's with the O's and the R's? There's a few girls over there want to take you home with them, and well, who knows? How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 3 sisters and 6 brothers.
A young Michael Jackson talking to Dick Clark on American Bandstand. Dick Clark died today, 82 years of age. Michael Jackson died almost 3 years ago at 50. Both men, in their own way, eternally young. Dick Clark, remarkable in the way he broke down barriers for African-American artists. He didn't care about the color of anyone's skin. He cared about the beat. And that's why so many remarkable musicians got their first huge break on Bandstand. The Supremes, James Brown, Gladys Knight and the Pips, to name a few. Dick Clark, clean-cut, conservative, introduced America to those artists. Tyrese, thank you for being with us tonight on this sad occasion. You're famous for so many things, the Transformers movie from Paramount, and that's you in the scene right now. We had to play that. And also, your new album is called Open Invitation. You are performing in Atlanta this Friday at the Civic Center. Everybody, go see this man perform. But about Dick Clark, as a musician, as an artist yourself, what did Dick Clark mean to you?
You know what? Long before I even started doing music myself, Dick Clark was just one of those people in the business that you always seen on television, and you just knew, like a Clive Davis, even though they don't really compare, there was just certain people that represented the strength of music and the real backbone of music. And, you know, as I got further into my knowledge about the music business in itself, then you realize that Dick Clark played a major role in creating a national stage for African-American recording artists back then, when we had no television outlets to expose our gifts and talents.
Yeah, and in fact, watch this incredible footage. It's Dick Clark in 1969 talking to a young artist. Well, I don't need to name him. You'll recognize him. This from YouTube.
Let me get a hold of a harmonica here. Speaking of it, you started to tell me before how long ago it was that you played this instrument. How old were you when you first picked one up?
I was actually 4 when I started playing, and the first song I played was Three Blind Mice.
Little irony there.
Of course, that is Stevie Wonder. Tyrese, wow.
Yeah,
wow,
you know,
see this footage.
I won an American Music Award, which was one of the highlights of my music career, off of my first album. And I remember hanging out with Dick Clark and him personally congratulating me after that moment happened. And so, you know, I just want to thank Dick Clark and his family and everybody for contributing to the music as we see it and know it today. He's created a lot of levels of new standards in music and the music business in itself, and we are forever grateful for his legacy and what it represents. Thank you, Dick Clark.
Dick Clark was also a pioneer in that he integrated audiences with both white and black teens dancing together to the same tunes.
Absolutely.
And his show used to originate from Atlanta. In 1958, the National Guard had to step in because he had gotten threats from the Ku Klux Klan. He performed despite those threats. This guy, a hero, and he will be missed. More on the